About 3 weeks ago, I decided to spend the weekend on this. Particle life. The short version is particles attract, particles repel, and beautiful chaos ensues. I would start the sim to dial in a variable or take a screenshot for a thumbnail. And before I knew it, hours had gone by. Just watching these dots move around and form beautiful structures. I built the simulation with a compute shader, so it can run on your GPU and handle numbers of particles that would make your CPU cry. I would also provide a link so you can try this yourself on the web for free. We'll get to that towards the end of the video. Let's get started with the sad universe. Just one particle. It can bounce, it can drift, and it is very boring. We have to start here though, otherwise nothing else makes sense. Even one particle completely alone on an infinite canvas has personality. It has a minimum speed because I decided nothing in my simulation is allowed to give up and stop moving. It has a maximum speed because otherwise things get out of hand immediately. And it has dampening, friction, because life does require friction. Without friction, particles just bounce forever at full energy and nothing ever settles into anything interesting. With friction, they slow down just enough to form structures. Dampening is what turns chaos into patterns. Even one particle, one singular, lonely bouncing dot, has a relationship with itself. That's weird, but okay. This is the interaction matrix. Right now it's one cell because we only have one type. One question encoded in this cell. Does this particle like itself? We can modify this value. Positive means it likes itself. It seeks out other copies of itself. It clusters, it wants community, which is very healthy behavior for our floating point. Negative means it flees from itself, its true self. Honestly, I can relate. This matrix is one tiny grid of values. The entire soul of the simulation, everything you're about to see comes from expanding it. We are going to grow this from one cell to multiple, and somewhere in that expansion, particles are going to start doing things that I genuinely did not ask them to do. But first, let's give it some company. A second type has a different color. And now our matrix is 2 by 2, which means 4 relationships. And here is a critical and delightful detail that makes things interesting. Red's feelings about green and green's feelings about red are completely independent. They do not have to agree. We can already start to see patterns emerge, particles that only love their own kind, unreciprocated attraction causing a chase and flee situation, stalker particles managing to trap their love interest in a circle, and sometimes mutual attraction, although even then the intensity might not be equal. Now let's check out the physics section. Think of them as a way to control the intensity of the simulation world. The naive approach to running the simulation would have every single particle loop through every other particle to check if they are close enough to interact. With 1,000 particles, that's 1,000,000 checks per frame. With 100,000 particles, that's 10 billion checks per frame, at 60 frames a second. So instead, I implemented spatial partitioning, which just means I divide the canvas into a grid, and each particle only checks its own grid cell and its immediate neighbors, so 9 cells maximum instead of 100,000. This runs on the GPU, and it's what makes the simulation fast enough to be interactive. And we can actually start to see this grid when the influence radius is greater than the cell size. So, density limits. Each particle type has a maximum comfortable neighbor count, and the attraction to other particles changes as the density of a cell increases, which encourages the formation of new cells. Kind of like in chemistry and electron shells having limits. Shout out to Code Noodles, by the way. I copied the density idea from his video. Anyway, comparing this to electron shells got me thinking about orbitals. So I gave each interaction a sideways push that causes particles to orbit each other rather than just approach or flee directly. Combining the interaction matrix, density limits, and orbital matrix is how we achieve patterns that look like cells with walls and nuclei. All this chemistry talk has made me consider making another sim where each particle type is actually an element, and interactions between particles are governed by real chemistry, where the formations will be molecules. If you want to see that, drop a like. 10k likes and I'll make a video about that. This video would probably get 100 views, but a man can dream. Jokes apart though, let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. Those are the main settings. There are some more we've not gotten to, and they've actually been turned off for the simulation you've seen so far. We'll get to that in a bit. But first, I would like to give you some minutes to watch some of the best interactions and patterns I've seen emerge. Personally, I've spent a long time watching this simulation and patterns emerge and evolve. So long that I started to hear the particles speak to me. I started to imagine myself as one of the particles. What it would be to be one of them. A particle that has spent its entire existence chasing, fleeing, orbiting, occasionally getting absorbed into a blob, living and dying. We'll get to death and mutations, it's complicated, but somewhere being reborn somewhere else as something slightly different. The particles spoke to me, they wanted to get the message out. I've chased the green, I've fled the red, I've orbited the things I dread, I've died 1,000 times by chance, reborn mid-sim to join the dance. I've filled my shell, I've cleared my zone, have mutated to flesh and bone. Well, not bone, I'm a floating point, but still, this universe has a point. I've watched my kind rise, fall and surge. I've felt contagion's gentle urge. I've spiraled clockwise, counter 2. I've done more physics than most of you. And after all this strife, this simulated GPU-driven life, I have one message, one piece of truth, one gift to give, one cosmic proof. If you want the sim to keep going strong, if you want more videos before too long, if you believe that particles deserve a chance, the particles have spoken. Subscribe button is right there. The universe pointed to it with particles, so I'd listen to them. For now, enjoy some of my favorite emergent life forms. Making this simulation, I learned from the work of others. I'm not claiming I invented particle life or this kind of simulation, but also, if I'm being honest, I wanted at least one feature that made this mine, something I've not seen anybody else do. So I added mutation, spontaneous type change. Every tick, a particle has a tiny random chance to just become something else. Midlife crisis at the particle level. One tick you're green, the next you're blue. Next is contagion. Spend enough time near particles of a given type and there's a chance you convert. Spending time in an environment until you start to become part of it. I also added death because apparently I wasn't done. 2 causes of death. Suffocation by too many neighbors. If the cell gets overloaded and the stress becomes too much, there's a chance a particle dies. The second cause is starvation from having too few neighbors. The combination of this, layered on top of mutation and contagion, produces population complexity that I could honestly just watch for hours. Now, my confession, the particles don't actually die. When the death check fires, the particle just teleports to a random location on the canvas, potentially as a new type if mutation is enabled. I implemented it like this because I did not want to handle dynamic GPU buffers, and I did not want the video to take even longer. It took longer than expected. These things always do. You can play around with all these variables yourself using the itch.io link. It's totally free, but if you want to support me, there's a donation option. As well, you could just subscribe and like this video, that helps. It runs in the browser using web GPU, which means it might need access to your dedicated graphics card if you have one. Granting access would just help making the simulation fast compared to running on your integrated graphics card. If you're on Windows, you might need to go to your settings and enable the dedicated graphics card for whatever browser you're using. Then restart the browser, and I've also included a little performance UI so you'd see what GPU is currently being used. I don't entirely know how to explain what it feels like to build a system and then just watch it produce things you did not design. It stops feeling like your code after a while. It starts feeling like something with its own logic, its own preferences almost. You know it isn't, it's just floating point math running on silicon. Structures that look like chemistry or biology. Behavior that looks almost like, and I'm aware of how this sounds, almost like life. I'm going to keep building this and exploring more simulations. The chemistry and molecule sims would come sometime in the future. After that, who knows, maybe actual life simulation, maybe actual evolution. Maybe I lose another month, maybe several. Link is in the description. Be very careful with your evenings because you might just lose an hour watching this particle life evolutions.